oats. There's some winter oats, experimental winter oat, and another variety of conventional oats. And as we swing around here, you'll see we got the actually different winter grains: winter wheat, winter rye, winter triticale. And as always, we are showing you guys the differences in growth habits. Winter grain are supposed to grow, make roots, go dormant, live to grow another day, which is the following spring. Whereas the oats, that you guys could see here, they're designed to have their yield maturing in 60, 70 days, explosive growth. And so what you'll see year after year is we're going to have about twice the amount of tonnage on the winter oats varieties compared to the winter wheat, winter rye, winter triticale. That's very typical. And so look how green, look how lush the oats are. So when guys are all asked the question, what should you plant in the fall? And everybody and their brother suggests winter rye. I ask, why rye? What purpose are you doing it? Are you planting it as a cover crop and for next year? Not that there's not a benefit this year, but the biggest benefit is building soil organic matter residue, average nutrition growth for the fawns and fawning cover and the doe lactation and even your bucks next spring. But for when you're talking in the fall, and if you want bites per acre, you want tonnage. Not that there's not attraction with the winter grain, but again, if you're out here, and if you guys, I challenge you guys, if you plant strips, you plant blocks of different winter wheat, winter rye, winter triticale versus spring oats versus winter oats, you'll learn a lot with what you visually observe. If you want to measure the content, which we'll be doing again here too in a little bit. But again, there's about twice as much forage dry matter per acre in the winter oats out here as the winter grains. And like I said, that's very, very typical. What I suggest a lot of people too, especially if they're not used to planting like the winter oats or regular oats in the fall, is you could be going a half rate of the winter grain and half rate of the regular oats. And even when it comes to adding grain to your Nebraska blends, there's some other advantages of that. It also helps reduce the selective browsing or even mob browsing or mob grazing, I should say, because we want the deer to be selective browsers, not mob grazers. And so again, as I back up and you see me standing here, this is what we got here on October 30th. And as we spin the camera again into the winter grains, and again, I think I'm on year 13 of grain trial. Look at what we got, right? So for those of you guys that just want to let your eyes see what you can see, it's very evident we got twice as much growth on the winter oats as the winter grain. And again, that's not all bad in the case of the winter grain, because again, why we don't see as much top growth is because they're making roots, storage factories to be able to do what it needs to do for you guys next spring. So again, time and a place for everything, whether you're talking spring grains, winter grains. And again, one little thing I'll clear up too is this: because you might be planting spring oats or spring triticale or spring barley or spring wheat in the fall, you're just going to be basically seeing growth habits similar as in the spring. So basically, you're getting all of its growth. You're not going to be getting regrowth. And again, the terms like winter wheat, winter rye, winter triticale, you're planting in the fall here, and they're living to grow another day next spring. Could you still seed those fall grains in the spring? Sure, right? But what it's best use of is planting those winter grains in the fall. Spring grains could be planted in the spring or the fall, and that's something a lot of people don't think about, don't understand. Just a few little talking points and discussions in regard to grain. We'll take a few pictures of the post. We'll be able to do some measurements again. We'll be doing some more scissors cutting analysis yet here. We've gotten down below 20 degrees, and we'll swing one more time. And you can see yet how green and lush and everything that the winter grains is looking yet. So little live video here. We'll keep sharing some content out here at America's Wildlife Research property in the Watertown, Wisconsin area. If anybody ever has any questions, reach out. This is my world. I live out here. And why? Because I don't ever want to speak to something I don't have so many repetitions of, that I have statistical confidence in speaking to that. And again, every time I'm out here, I'm learning something new. Sean O'Brien, Grandpa Ray Outdoors.